Hi, in this lesson we're going to take a look at shell scripts. So what are shell scripts? Shell scripts are essentially a list of commands that you may run at a command line prompt. We can put them together in a program to do various tasks automatically that we would normally have to do manually without the script. So you may hear a few different terms thrown out there when talking about shell scripts. Shell scripts tend to be a more generic term and are used across various platforms. Bash scripts, on the other hand, are very similar, but they tend to be used to describe Linux or Unix system scripts. And likewise, batch files are found in Windows. While the syntax is nearly identical between the three, there are a few minor differences that you'll run into. In this course, we'll be writing our scripts in the CodeHS IDE and executing them on a cloud server that uses bash commands. However, we'll still use the more generic shell script description. As mentioned before, programmers use scripts for various things, but in general, they're used to help automate manual tasks. For example, many programming languages have several steps to compile and run a program, and a shell script can consolidate these into one command. Other tasks include automating data backup and monitoring network and other statuses. Here's an example of a batch file. Notice that the commands that you see are the same commands that you would type in a command line prompt. The first line creates a new directory. Then it changes to that directory. On the third line, we copy hello Java from the directory one level higher, which is denoted with the 2 dots, to the current directory, which is denoted with the 1 dot. Finally, the last 2 steps are compiling and running hello.java. Shell scripts run command line commands. However, due to their nature, we will have to have some options to extend to more complex commands, such as using variables, input-output to the console, searching files, if-else statements, and more. In this course, we're only going to look at a few commands and a few tasks to give you a taste of what scripting is. So let's first look at variables. So variables can be assigned similar to other languages. You can use a straight assignment, or you can use the let command to assign the value. Similar to other languages, string literals are assigned using quotes. One important thing to note is that scripts treat spaces as a break in a new command. So if you separate the equals from the variable and number, the script will not understand the command. So notice again, the num equals 200 with no spaces. When you add a space to it, it will not understand that command. To use the variable, you need to add a $sign before the variable. In this example, we are using the echo command, which will output the value to the console. Echo can be used for variables, but also for string literals. So if I want to echo the number that I created, I do echo $num. I can echo the string with echo $string, or I can use a literal echo world. To read in a value, you use the read command followed by a variable that you want to read into. In this example, the command line will prompt the user for a value and then store that value in the variable named num. On the last line, we output that value after a string literal. One thing that's important to note is that we can concatenate 2 values by just separating them with a space. It is also important to note that that space will persist in the output. In other words, we don't need to add a space to the string literal after the word entered. The basic structure of an if-else statement is similar to other languages. The branch starts with an if statement followed by a conditional statement that will evaluate to true or false. If true, then the then statements will execute. Otherwise, the else statements will execute. The if-else block ends with the fi statement. Let's take a closer look at a couple of these pieces here. So first, notice that the conditional statement ends with a semicolon. This is one of the few places that you'll use a semicolon in scripting. Next, notice that the if block of commands starts with the then command. And finally, we end our block with an fi, which is just if backwards. Now the conditional statements we use are similar to other languages, but the syntax is a little bit different. Like other languages, we are comparing values, but to do this comparison, we need to tell the processor that we're using a test to test two values. So we start our conditional statement with the word test. The other thing to note is that we do not use symbols, but rather letters to help our expression. So for example, -EQ is testing to see if two numbers are equal. So here's the complete list of commands that you might use to do your comparisons. So -EQ is equal, -GT greater than, -LT less than, and -GE and LE greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. So here's a basic example of a conditional statement with everything together. Notice that we start by prompting the user for a grade. We read that value into the variable grade, and then we start our conditional statement, and we're going to test whether or not the grade is greater than or equal to 60. And notice that we use the $ grade because we're now referencing the variable. When that's true, we have a then statement that executes, and we echo pass, otherwise we echo fail. And then we end that block with an FI. So if we run this, we would see that if you entered a grade of 80, it would write pass to the console, otherwise it will write fail. So while this is an introduction to scripting, we will use a few other commands in this lesson and wanted to highlight them here. This is not by any means an exhaustive list of commands, and you should be sure to take time with the examples to help better understand how these commands are used. So we'll start by looking at the greater than sign, and this is basically like piping output into some different place. So we use greater than, and then we direct the output typically to a file and things like that. You can see an example of this in the next line. We use this wget, which is a way to download a website, and you'll see this in the example. And we use two options, -Q and -O, and then we have a dash there as well. And then we have that greater than sign, and so what it's saying is take the contents of website and put it in a file called file.html. grep is a term that we can use to help search different things. We can use grep-q, which is saying do it quietly, don't actually output the results to the screen, but it does essentially search for the word term in the file.html. And again, there's an example of this in our example, so make sure you're taking time to understand that. Without the -q, what it does is it'll actually output the line that the term is found on. So with that, it is now your turn to explore scripting.